Stop scrolling. Look at the dog on your screen. He's not a purebred. He's not a giant. He's a scruffy, wiry-haired stray from a dusty yard in Pinguan. But you feel it, don't you? That weight in your chest, that instinctive urge to straighten your posture when he looks at the camera. In the next 3 minutes, I'm going to prove to you that your brain has been hijacked. We aren't just watching a dog. We are watching a mirror of the leader we all wish we were. Why does a 100-pound killing machine like Thorm fold his ears in the presence of this 40-pound king? It's not about muscle. It's about a psychological frequency that most humans will never master. For 180 videos, we've documented the Yard Sovereign. We've seen him dismantle tyrants like Big Head and command generals like Wick. But today, we go deeper into the alpha mirror theory. Science tells us about mirror neurons, the biological hardware that forces us to mimic the energy of the strongest mind in the room. When Charles stands still, the yard goes silent. When he walks, the path opens. Your brain is decoding his zero-vibration authority. You are witnessing the X-Yasi Predator Code, an ancient biological operating system that doesn't recognize fear, only order. But here's the question. If a discarded dog can master the laws of power so perfectly, what does that say about the chaos in your own life? What is he doing that you aren't? We are about to dive into the classified mechanics of King Charles' mind. We're breaking down the DNA, the big head trauma that forged his sovereignty, and the specific way he uses tactical stillness to control his environment. If you've ever wondered why you respect this dog more than your boss, your government, or your own peers, this is the answer. Pay attention. The king isn't just ruling the yard, he's profiling you. And by the end of this, you'll realize that the reveal at the end of this video is the only thing standing between you and true leadership. Lock in. The law of the mirror begins now.
So how in the world does one scruffy, unassuming dog keep perfect, silent order over a yard with more than 100 other dogs? Seriously, at the Penguin shelter, this dog, King Charles, he's established a reign with zero barking, zero fighting. It's this quiet, almost invisible power, and today we're going to pull back the curtain and see exactly how he does it. And make no mistake, the stakes are unbelievably high. People on the ground there say it plain and simple. King Charles is the one and only thing keeping the peace. Without him, that whole delicate social structure, it would just collapse into chaos, an all-out war. He's not just a leader, he's the linchpin holding their entire world together.
So to really get how he pulls this off, we're going to dig into the 5 pillars of his authority. We'll start with his invisible chemical warfare, then we'll rewind to his life on the streets, which is what made him so fearless. We'll look at his single greatest victory, break down his unique toolkit for dominance, and then, get this, we'll even explore the wild science of how his power reaches out and affects us, too.
All right, first up, let's dive into something you can't even see, the invisible world of scent. And this isn't just about, sniffing around. This is information warfare, and it is the absolute foundation of the king's entire regime. It all comes down to this idea of olfactory sovereignty. See, King Charles makes a point of strategically marking the center of the yard. What he's doing is basically erasing the scent signatures of any would-be rivals. It's a straight-up chemical dictatorship. His scent becomes the law of the land, a constant chemical broadcast to every other dog that says, "I'm in charge. Everything is under control."
But this kind of power doesn't just appear out of thin air. To really understand his mindset, you have to go back to the beginning. And let's just say, it was anything but royal.
He started his life as what you might call a discarded stoic. He was a street dog. He had absolutely nothing to his name, a zero-asset background. But here's the crazy part. What looks like a huge disadvantage was actually the source of his greatest power. Because when you start with nothing, you have absolutely nothing to lose.
And that right there is the key. That complete and total lack of fear. That gives him the alpha edge. Think about it. Other dogs, maybe pampered ones, they might fear getting hurt or losing something. But Charles, he's got this psychological armor that was forged on the street.
He's already seen and survived the worst, and it's made him fundamentally unbreakable.
So you have this unshakable mental strength, right? Well, it was about to be put to the ultimate test when he came face to face with the yard's previous ruler, a brutal tyrant who ruled with an iron jaw.
Okay, now check out this contrast in styles. The old boss, a dog named Big Head, was your classic dictator. All noise, all aggression, all brute force and biting. King Charles's strategy was the complete opposite. He used a tactic called resilient passive dominance. He literally just stood there, took the bites without flinching, and just waited for the tyrant to burn himself out.
In this story, it just perfectly captures the essence of his power. It's not about being the biggest or the baddest dog in the yard. His victory sent a powerful message to everyone watching. The king's mind is simply harder than any tyrant's teeth. Brains beat brawn, every time.
Okay, so he's won the crown. But how does he keep it, day in and day out? Well, let's pop the hood and deconstruct the specific tools in his sovereign arsenal.
Now, his arsenal is subtle, but it is incredibly effective. We're going to look at 5 of his key moves, from a simple look that can freeze another dog in its tracks, to a strategic stretch that basically broadcasts his own invincibility.
First up, the hard gaze. Charles is from the Yesia lineage, these ancient Chinese hunting dogs, and he doesn't need to bark or growl. He can stop a 100-pound predator with just a flick of his eyes. And this isn't just intimidation, it's biology. That look triggers a freeze reflex deep inside the amygdala, the fear center of the brain. It's a neurological shutdown switch.
Next up, proximity management. The king, he almost never gets his own paws dirty. He just chills, maintaining this vibe of high-status calm. Meanwhile, his muscular generals, like another dog named Thorm, they're the ones who handle any, physical enforcement. By delegating like a true CEO, he stays above it all, which makes his authority feel untouchable, almost mythical.
Okay, this next one, it's just incredible to see. The sovereign stretch. Right in the middle of all the other dogs, he'll just stretch out and completely expose his neck, his throat. Now, this is not a yawn. It's what you'd call a tactical dare. It is the ultimate flex of invincibility.
The message he's sending in dog language is crystal clear, and it is unbelievably bold. He's saying, I am so confident, so secure in my power, that I can offer you my most vulnerable spot, and I know you're too scared to do anything about it. It's an act of supreme confidence that just shuts down any idea of a challenge.
Get this, even the way he looks is a weapon. That scruffy, wiry coat, it's not a flaw, it's a feature of his heritage. Coming from that Shiasi mountain hunting line, his coarse fur acts like wiry armor. It's a physical billboard for his survivalist status. It tells every other dog, I'm no pampered show dog. I am a sovereign forged by the streets. And finally, we have pressure silence. This is another trait baked into his ancient boar hunting DNA. You know how most dogs bark to show they're dominant? A Shiasi alpha just walks into a room and it feels like he sucks all the oxygen out of it. His silent, intense focus creates this psychological freeze, totally dominating the space without making a single sound.
So, we've seen how he commands the yard, but here's the final twist, and this is where it gets really mind-bending. His authority. It doesn't stop with other dogs. It's hardwired to affect us too.
It's a phenomenon called mirror neuron sync. When we watch King Charles, his complete and total stoic frame, that utter lack of fear, anxiety, it triggers a reaction in our own brains. Our prefrontal cortex picks up on his extreme calm, and we can't help but perceive him as a kind of universal authority.
So think about what this means. Our fascination with him isn't just because it's a cool story. It's a biological response. In a very real scientific sense, we are biological subordinates to his calm. His leadership taps into a deep-seated respect mechanism that's built right into our own programming. Which, of course, leaves us with one big question to chew on. Power isn't always the loudest bark or the sharpest teeth. Maybe true, unshakable authority comes from something else entirely, from a quiet mind, a fearless heart, and the simple, undeniable power of calm. What does a scruffy dog's reign really teach us about what true power looks like?